Okay, honestly, it's rape. Okay, it doesn't matter if you climax or ejaculate, orgasm, whatever term you'd like to use. Uh, it doesn't make a difference. Okay, it's still rape. None of that overrides a no. Okay, you have to give consent. And just because a male gets an erection whenever being forced to have sex doesn't mean that he wants it at all. And all this can be applied vice versa. Just because a woman is capable of having sex at that moment, all the conditions are right. If she says no, it's still no. No means no, and it's rape. There's no way around it. It's rape. Rape shield law. Okay, obviously it's a legal term. It's where in court the previous sexual conduct of the victim is inadmissible. Examples I can think for this, because sometimes legal jargon doesn't quite add up. A prostitute can be raped. If that was a question you had, the answer is yes. A prostitute can be raped. Because, like I said before, it doesn't override a no. Okay, if you don't want it, you don't want it. No means no. So, prostitutes on the stand, they say, hey, she can't be raped. She's a prostitute. She does this for money. It's her job. She can't be raped. No, she can't. Or if it's a male, there's male prostitutes. All this goes both ways. I often reference females because it's easier to do it that way to me. While we're talking about this, I also want to mention another thing on consent. I brought up ages on consent. In Dr. Clayton's Criminal Law 1 class, we went over a case where a 13-year-old girl had decided she had a crush on her coach, and she really liked him, and she had all these plans, what she wanted to do with him, and she told her friends about it. And this little girl was experienced sexually, and she sets out her eyes on this coach and goes out and accomplishes what she intends to do. He goes to trial. Okay, she's 13. Whether or not it was her choice to come on to the coach, she cannot give consent, so it is rape. Okay. Also, the defense attorney for the coach tried to bring in her friends that she told her plan to. According to the rape shield law, it doesn't matter. Okay. Because he wanted her friends to talk about how she planned it and how she'd been around the block before. It doesn't matter previous sexual conduct. The case in point was that this man was too old, she was too young to give consent. There it is, the rape shield law. Okay, I'm sure you could divide up into many different levels the types of rapists, but according to this book that you will get to see more of at the end of the video, a guy named Nicholas Groth classified the three main patterns of rapists, and there's anger rapists, power rapists, and sadistic rapists. According to Groth, okay, the anger rapist uses more force than necessary. The individual's motivation comes from the anger or rage he or she feels the victim or for the victim or for the person the victim represents. This type of rapist is likely to cause bodily injury. There's also the power rapist that needs to assert his strength and dominance over the victim. The level of physical or psychological force that the power rapist uses is dependent upon the victim's level of resistance. Okay, now when it talks about physical or psychological, we're talking about coercion or the sweet talking that gets forceful, and not just physically but mentally. The third kind in comparison to the power rapist is the sadistic rapist, and he or she has an erotic association with violence. This type of rapist becomes sexually aroused by the pain, suffering, humiliation, and mutilation of the victim, whether it be male or female. He or she is likely to inflict serious physical and psychological harm to the victim, and in some cases may kill their victim or cause death. Okay, this is a very complicated question, because there's cases where the answer is no, and there's cases where the answer is yes. The way I'll do this is I'll put it in a way that you can lean either way. Okay? Porn can be cathartic. It can be a stress reliever. You know, it's possible that someone watches it, that's all they need, they're satisfied, and they're done. Okay? But porn can also be like a drug. So when you watch it, you release chemicals in your brain, and these chemicals are pleasurable to you, to a person, most likely. The thing is, we get addicted to them if we watch it too much and become chronic users. Addiction can go the same path that drug addiction can go, from softcore to hardcore to fetishes to snuff films, snuff. That's where they kill the person at the end. And possibility is there that it could escalate into actually going out and physically accomplishing these acts. Also, the same can be said about violent video games, violent TV shows, or cooking shows, where you sit around and watch cooking shows all day and you decide, hey, I want to cook that souffle I just saw on TV. So, can it lead to rape? It's possible. Can it lead to being a stress reliever? Yeah. But absolutely, I can't tell you either way. Okay, again, I am a student, and this is an amateur show, okay? The purpose of this video is to not only give you info, but to encourage you to do your own research and not just take my word for it. We barely skimmed the surface of this topic. I mean, there's vast amounts of info on this, and more to be understood. But please, if you're interested in learning more, there will be some information in the credits about the books that I used, some other books you can look up, some websites to go to, and all my references for this video, which will also include some teachers. Thank you for watching my video. I appreciate your patience, and again, this is Ricky Paul Ward on the HodgePog. Thanks for tuning in.